Hi everybody! I'm doing a soul rebirth journey for a client, and this soul rebirth journey is 60 minutes of energy, work, and wisdom, and this client is open-minded to sharing so we can all learn something today. I'm going to go ahead and read the goals for the session and we're going to get started. Alright, so the goals are: I want to heal childhood trauma, be able to love and accept love, not be afraid to trust someone. I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm at a point where I am tired and feel like I just want to go home. I would like to have that joy and zest for life again. Last but not least, I would like to know my purpose in this life. Okay. This is going to be so great. I'm so excited to get started here. I'm going to relax now and get connected. So we're going to focus on healing childhood trauma. We're going to work with love. I'm going to give you some zest and understanding about your purpose. Okay, got it. All right, so the first thing I'm being shown here, this is pretty. There's like it's paint, and we're starting with a pink, reddish pink color. And then it sort of turns into sparkles over here on the side, and there's purple. The paint, though, is streaking, and it's not very, I don't know how to describe it. It could be prettier than this, I suppose. It doesn't mean it's not pretty. And I like the creative color schemes with the sparkles. I think there's something cool about that. But it's not, it's kind of blotchy and streaky, and the composition of what is like a heavy color here, and this is kind of, I can see the canvas beneath it, and it's just sort of disorienting. It's not a balanced, there's something not balanced about it. At the same time, it's still pretty. There's still what would you call this? There's I wouldn't say the word hope, but promise. There's promise here. So we're going to work with this, and there's promise of bringing this into balance. Okay, so let's see what happens next here. All right, your consciousness says I'm disappointed with this, Abby. So we're going back to the picture. You say, well, what disappoints you the most about this? Okay, it's going to look a little ugly. The canvas becomes a doorway, and you use a knife to cut into the doorway so it can open up, and I can see what is on the other side of this. And it's actually a child holding a knife that is basically, when it cuts into the canvas, is sort of, the knife kind of jabs into the lower gut region where our emotions are digested, basically. So it sort of jabs it in there, and then it cuts down the canvas, and then it rips it open in order for us to go into what's on the other side here. And it's interesting because I'm having to go slightly downward and then straight ahead. It's not like I can go straight into it. I have to kind of awkwardly curve into it. And it's small. It's a small little hole. And it's kind of bothering my throat and my neck. And the colors shift to black and blue. There's different emotions happening here. Anger is one of them. That's one of them, but I can't figure out what the other ones are just yet. I'm just going to let them continue to vent in their own way, as I'm basically trying very hard to get into this rat hole. I don't know why I keep thinking of a rat hole, but do rats live in holes? But the thing is, I'm thinking rat hole, and I'm trying to get into it. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get into that rat hole. And it's small. It's a small, it's like animals that burrow underground, and then there's lots of moist soils, but it's packed, compact soils. It's not like this is gonna cave in on itself. But I'm like an earthworm, and I'm worming my way through these soils to get through or get into this rat hole more, and it is not easy. it's difficult, and it's really like I almost feel like my neck is breaking in the process, because the energy that is associated with this image is all related to the throat and the back of the neck. I feel like I have a horrible like neck ache, broken neck. All right, so I'm just going to let this be as it is, and I'm going to go into the frequency of I'm just sort of open the scene up a little bit more so we can understand more of it. And then when I do that, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, but there's something about Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of based on Chuck E. Cheese, but the animatronics are all broken, and they were kind of made to be broken and evil. And they're trying to understand their identities, but all they know is that they have to kill the security guard. And that's their purpose, or anybody who's there after dark, that's their purpose, is to kill them. But basically, when I open up this experience of being an earthworm with a broken neck, and it's very hard to get into that rat hole, then when I just say, okay, I'm going to accept it as it is, and then I open it up more, I'm looking at a bunch of broken animatronics. And, you know, there's something about them that the images they could be really warm and friendly, and they could bring a lot of joy to a kid's life. So you kind of see the echo of them not broken, and then you see the echo of them broken, and it's scary. It scares me. And I feel kind of like a child that's trying to decide what it means to me. But I'm also examining this as an adult too, trying to decide what it means to me. And the child is sort of open-minded to both, because the child simply loves. But the adult is saying, you know, what do these animatronics mean to me? Those are broken animatronics. Those are not broken animatronics. The child's like, how can I help these broken animatronics? Oh, I love you, healthy animatronics. But love is shared with both. The adult is sort of questioning, is thinking, is deciding. I'm going to go ahead and be the animatronics, which are broken, and I want to just see what their consciousness is like, because every image of this scene is resonating with your frequencies, and this is just how I, Abby, am translating the frequencies into these pictures so we can comprehend them better with our consciousness, okay? And just so you know, I am only skimming the surface of your spiritual atmosphere here. This isn't even me going deep yet. This is at the surface, this stuff is. So, I'm going to be one of the animatronics. What is this one? This is what is like a purple bunny rabbit. It's like Bonnie, I think. Okay. I feel so sad. I feel like I'm kind of like a puppet, and like I'm forced to have to endure an experience. And it wasn't intended for me. I was supposed to be, you know, a happy, large guitar playing bunny rabbit, but I was forced into an experience that broke me. And now I'm broken, and I'm distorted, and I'm ugly inside. It's so sad. The heart and the emotional gut are very heavy. And because I'm a puppet, I don't get to decide. I have to wait for somebody to care about me before I could ever be fixed. Because I'm an animatronic, I need somebody to fix me. And if nobody sees that I need fixing, then I am to carry this burden alone inside myself. You feel kind of like, you can imagine a child too could feel this way, because children need adults to help them understand their own emotions, understand themselves. So if an adult isn't there to help that child, and the child has to go on kind of like what is now a broken animatronic, how does the child heal themselves truly? How does a child heal themselves? They need help. And this is sort of echoing this broken, what is like a full-sized guitar playing like purple bunny is a broken bunny, and it can't fix itself. It has to be fixed by somebody else. And it's honest. It is honest. So much heaviness here. And there's something of a sword that is just stabbing me through the heart from behind. The sword goes in from behind me and stabs through my heart. And this sword is cutting me much like we cut that canvas. And it starts by cutting downward. It goes from the heart and cuts downward, all the way down. And it is straight down the spinal column. And I also feel it in the front side. So straight down all of this meat, you know. And don't we, if you were to go hunting and you have an animal, it's sort of like you have to prepare the animal. You've got to clean out all of that stuff. So you got to cut it downward. There's something about this is sort of reminding me of preparing an animal that has been, a deer or a rabbit, and then you cut it and you open it up and then you clean all that stuff out. This too but it's like a human, and being stabbed from the back and then cut downward and it's like cleaning all this. It's just like opening it up, like ripping it open though too, is the way it feels, or ripping sensation. That we got to think about this. We have energy bodies here too, and the heart portal and the emotional gut, and then we got lower gut region too, and it's just cutting on down. So here we got you're just having a little soul movement, so I'm just gonna stretch. Okay, that feels good. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of layers, and they're compact. They're not like they're kind of stuck. They're really pushed together. They're all smushed together, so they create really compact layers. Not like here's a doorway into a new space. Get through that space. Here's another doorway into a new space. So there seems to be space between the layers, but for you, it's just they're really close together, like really compact and close together. So it's just like layer, 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 without much space in between. This is just all energetic venting. It's very dense. It's like the heart is bleeding into the stomach and then the gut region, and it's just very heavy and very intense energy right now. And this is actually venting, okay? So we're releasing this out. Not holding it inside, releasing it out, but there's a lot in here. And it's sort of like I don't know, you could say it's really thick liquid. It's got an olive color and black soot in it, but it's really thick liquid, really thick. So almost the space is sort of the liquid that is being vented, which is this energy. It's dense, it's intense energy, but it's venting out, and there's a lot of it. So as that's venting out, this emotional body is starting to see. And when it sees, this consciousness sees, it's energetic movement around the mental body, okay? So it's participating in this healing experience. But it too feels the burden of it as well. And I'm trying to get throat involved, but throat's sort of like it's not wanting to come forward right now. Okay, all right, so a little bit of anger. It's coming from the lower gut on up to the stomach, into the heart, and then the eyes are starting to kind of look dark and twisted. But it's anger, okay? This is understandable anger that is happening here. It's not like demonic anger. It might appear that way, but it's understandable because it's coming from pain and suffering. So the anger needs to vent out right now, okay? So anger is venting. All right, so your anger is like a child that is in black and white. So it has black hair and white skin and black eyes, And this sort of this knife is sort of echoing black and metallic actual tones, grays, I guess you could say. But there's just venting anger, and there's an inspiration not to use the knife, but to choke somebody. So I'm just going to let this inner child reflection then choke whoever it needs to choke, because that's part of the venting. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's just simply, I need to release all of this hurt inside, and this is the only way I know how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just let the venting happen here, and we'll see what happens next. Okay, you're venting. But it doesn't do you any good. You're choking somebody. I don't know. Is it male? Is it female? I have no idea. You're just choking this faceless person. And you're just choking, but it's not actually healing you at all. It's feeding you totally neutral energy that is neither positive nor negative. So you're not getting any response or understanding from this. And this action is supposed to heal you, but it isn't healing you because the response that comes back is neutral. And so you are the only one left angry in all of this. That too isn't helping you to heal at all. Because you have to have a response that comes back so you can understand yourself. And if it comes back neutral, you're the only one angry in this scene. So it's kind of like choking a dummy. And then it's just like you can only choke a dummy for so long before you're just simply choking a dummy, and it's not helping you to heal. And you're realizing this inside yourself. This angry child emanation is. And it's desperate because it doesn't know how to heal this. And it tells me that it's suffocating. And it just keeps pointing to the mouth and But I feel like a suffocation and I can't breathe type of experience. And the heart is really tight. So this is also venting, okay? So just keep sharing. I'm telling your deeper conscious, just keep sharing. You're doing great. You're doing a really good job here. Okay. You're still releasing anger. I'm going to go into you because I'm here to support you, but I need to be more a part of you so we can keep working through this. I'm sort of the opportunity for the venting to receive reciprocal feedback, okay? But it's not, for some reason, it's not absorbing my feedback on the level that it should, or I perceive that it should. So I'm just going to go into this child that is angry, and now I'm going to look through this child's eyes. All right, the child is stuck in a wall, and nobody will help the child out. It's actually been, it's like the child was kind of fell into cement, and then it's like a brick wall, but you could imagine it like the child in the cement, like the bricks. It's a part of the bricks, basically. The child's body, face, hands, arms are all part of this brick wall. And it's like, if you were put into cement and then the cement was like poured and you were just dried into the cement, you'd be stuck. And this child is stuck in a brick wall. And it's red bricks. And nobody will help her. Nobody will break down the wall. Oh, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. It's really bad for this. The mental body is just, it's really hard on the mind. It's hard on everybody, but the mind is really loud right now. Okay, I'm just choosing patience, and I'm going to shift the frequency, okay? Okay. I'm just trying to slow it all down and calm it all down, but it is very, very tight, but very like condensed thoughts without thinking. It's a lot of just energetic, like circulating energy that's very condensed in the mental body right now. No thought, but very condensed energy in there that is overwhelming. And I'm just trying to slow it all down and relax it all so we can get perspective. Because you can't gain perspective when you're stuck in this dense mind place. We can only get perspective when we separate from it and then understand more about it from a new angle, okay? And that's the only way actually I mean, in order to heal something like this, you need a lot of different angles in order to reach all the different nooks and crannies that have experienced the event and are still trying to process it. Because a single traumatic event can be just like take a mirror and bust it with a hammer, and now you have all these pieces. So that can also happen to an energy field from one traumatic event alone, let alone many traumatic events. Teach you how to be stronger, teach you how to work with different parts of your identity, so you become a shattered mirror, but you can also become very strong in your pieces. But you can still feel connected to the trauma as well. So we need to get those pieces solidified, bringing back together again, kind of thing, so you can put all the stronger pieces of yourself together and they're all working together. That makes you so much stronger. But let's just right now it's just sort of like we've got a sliver of perspective here that we need to kind of alter it from a new angle in order to heal it. So I'm just going to keep slowing down the vibes so we can kind of disconnect from this mental body intensity and then feel different about it. Okay, all right. Oh gosh, okay. It's like a self-punishment, self-persecution, all the fingers pointing back at myself. I'm the one, I'm the bad person, I'm the failure, I'm the fuck up, that's kind of what it's like here, and it's just like around and round 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 and around the head, and it just keeps happening. And I'm trying to move all this head energy into the heart just to slow it down some more. I'm still trying to slow down the frequency in here, but we're doing it. It's just a lot. It's just a lot in here. Moving mental consciousness into the heart. Because the mental body, it's like, no mental body, you are not a failure. You are not a fuck up. You are not bad. You are good. You are good. The mental body, we got to really stand firm with that one and bring it into the heart where there's no judgment. Okay, this is horrible. Okay, so heart is so mental, head is in the heart basically, but there's a lot of movement going on here. Okay. Okay. So another space with shattering, breaking mirrors and breaking things, and you're part of the shattered, broken stuff. So you are this now, okay? A lot of anger and a lot of experience of being sort of broken or shattered. Not necessarily ripped, but just shattered, okay? And there's so many different reflections of you, so different aspects of your face are captured in the broken mirrored pieces. And this is too in like black and white and like metallics, but that's like gray. Man, this is very exhausting on the heart, but the heart is doing a really good job, and the mental body is also just getting very, very exhausted here. This is how your frequencies are shifting as we bring more conscious awareness of the frequencies. So me being in your deeper energetic consciousness, your subconscious, or however we want to define it, the conscious mind is not understanding what's going on deep beneath the surface. Conscious mind is translating it as everything that you have as your goals for today. Deeper consciousness is showing me this. Your frequencies are saying this, and it looks like this. This is how the frequencies feel. So these frequencies then are getting the message up to the conscious mind so you can see yourself, your deeper self, okay? So everybody is shifting, and when I say everybody, it's all the frequencies, okay? All the meaning, all the design and structure of your energy field is shifting as it becomes more aware of itself. Okay, so a lot of disorienting energy around the head, but we're making amazing progress through your very dense layers. And I don't know what to make of that. I don't know how to tell you. I don't know. It's different, okay? Most of the time I go through a doorway. Here's an experience. Got that one done. Okay, next one, go through kind of like, there seems to be more space, but yours is just like bam, 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 bam. Like it's all smushed together and really dense. So I'm going into the next density. Okay, so I'm telling your consciousness is doing a really good job here of venting, talking to me about what's going on so we can look at it together. No, nothing to be afraid of here. Just need to take a look at it, and then we can reconcile, we can heal that stuff and get to the next thing. So we're in the shattered place, right? But let's see if it needs to look at the shattered place more, if it wants to show me a new thing. Okay. It's sort of like soft feathers. It's just sort of like, basically I see a person with a bandit, like their mouth is like a tape on it, duct tape. And they're just like, trying to get me to understand something. They're wearing a pretty lilac dress in a pretty lilac colored world. And there's just a really enormous, giant, soft feather. And they're trying to express themselves, but they can't say what it is they're wanting to say. But the feather is still falling, and it's soft and it's gentle. And you can see it's just like a feather pillow feather kind of thing. So it's white into brown, right? And it's got these parts of it along each side, right? And they're almost like harp strings. So when I touch the feather, it almost like kind of tickles my rib cage a little bit, because it feels kind of like I'm stroking the harp strings, or I'm tickling the rib cage. It kind of reminds me of that. This too is creating a lot of energetic movement. Exhaustion in the mind. Heart is exhausted. I'm going to slow it. This is actually slowing things down on its own, but I'm going to slow it down more if I can. There's just so much weird energy too around the back of the neck. It doesn't feel like a broken neck anymore. It feels better, but it's still kind of tight and stiff feeling. A lot of exhaustion here. Energy is slowing down considerably, which is good because this part of you may need to take a rest. There's lots of parts of yourself, so this one that has showed me all this stuff may need to go take a nap, and then I'm going to go find another part of yourself. Okay. Weird sort of bubbles it's like you're laying down, you're not screaming or trying to get anything out of the mouth anymore, you're just lying down. The tape is being removed, but you're just wearing like a really intense teal colored dress. It's really pretty teal color. And you have really bad dreams. And they're in black and white, and you're screaming. But you never know who is hurting you. You never know what their face looks like. And it's like a black terror. Oh, man. You're still in a dream state, and I'm calming down your heart and your emotional gut and your mental body. I'm going to bring out the faceless man. It's what it sort of makes me feel like, a faceless man, the hangman. I haven't played hangman in a really long time. Don't you start to draw the hangman? So you pick a word, and then people have to tell you the letters, and if they get something wrong, then you just draw another part of the hangman. I feel like this invisible person looks like the hangman. Just a circle for a face, but it's kind of like a scarecrow because it does have body to it, but it doesn't have a face. Yeah, my spirit guides say, yeah, that scarecrow is a good way to describe it. A scarecrow without a face. I'm pulling this faceless scarecrow out of the dream, which is like a black terror. It's just a nightmare. So I'm just pulling it out, and I just want to get to know it more. I just want to understand it more. Okay. Okay, so anger is seriously happening here. A lot of anger. This is all very good because this is old pent-up stuff in here. You got some serious old pent-up stuff in here. And it can't just stay down in the densities, in the dense layers. That's why it's so dense, so it traps the anger better. So the anger doesn't get out. It feels like the anger is just like really burrowed down deep. And it never just like it never just explodes out. It's just like contained. So the faceless scarecrow night terror is here, but there's nothing but anger that is contained anger, but it's moving and it's freaking, oh man, it's got to blow up eventually. Like how do we transform this? Because it's part of self-expression. And if you have angry experiences where you weren't able to express yourself and how you actually felt deep down inside, then it goes into like a storage container. It gets bottled up in the digestive, okay? And that's what it's doing here. This is what it's like. It's like a, 16-foot concrete walls, like a super bank buried under the ground with like crazy walls, and nobody's going to blow this up. Nobody's going to get into it. But the anger needs to come out of this. I'm gonna pretend to be you, okay? And so I can get angry, all right, for you. So I'm like giving you practice here, because you gotta break this barrier down so the anger can come out and you don't have to carry the anger anymore, okay? All right, let me see if I can do it. I'm gonna be really pathetic. I have a feeling. I already feel kind of like I just don't have what it takes to be angry enough. But let me see. All right. Yeah, I'm trying, but I just start giggling and laughing, and I just like trying to point and trying to get angry with it, but I just keep laughing, and it's just like, man, I'm really bad at this. I'm trying. So I'm gonna become you, which is a little girl with a lot of anger deep down inside, and a faceless man, a scarecrow. And you don't want to use the knife. I'm asking if you have the courage or the power to no longer care about this faceless person. And not needing to know, not needing more information, not needing to... And realizing that there's something about you, it's still attached to this stuff. But you don't have to be, because you can say, I'm past it. But it's hard, it is challenging to say that you're past something of this caliber, because there's so much energy intertwined. There's so much energy that defines your identity, interconnected with this stuff. So how do you truly move on? Because you can't really move on from yourself, right? So... But there's something about, well, why can't this self that you are just be you? And then now it doesn't have anything to do with what was. And that's all in the past, and we don't need to like carry that burden anymore. I know it sounds like super easy and almost too easy, but why not give it a try? Why not just just simplify it on a ridiculous level and see what happens? Yeah, okay. So you're trying, but the weight you carry in your gut is like super heavy. I just have you turn your back on the faceless like terror as a symbol of let's heal you. We don't need to make any more sense of this. Let's just focus on healing you. And we're walking you up some stairs. Walking you up some more stairs. They're white. Very exhausting, and the higher we go, you actually look like a pregnant child, and then your gut region gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the higher you go and the further you get away, the more pregnant you look, and the more heavy and exhausted you are, and it's almost like you just need to lay down. So we reach a plateau where there's a bed, and we just lay you down. And you're carrying like what could only be defined as a bunch of bricks. And you're carrying like 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 a bunch of bricks. And you're carrying And it's like, it's like you look incredibly pregnant, but you're carrying like 1,000,000 bricks. I don't know why, but I believe that, when the wolf, eats the 3 little pigs, or there's somebody that comes, there's something, and he eats the grandmother. Red Riding Hood finds the wolf and then cuts open his stomach to get her grandmother out, and then puts a bunch of rocks in his stomach and then sews him back up again. I don't know why. Maybe there's something weird correlation here, but that's what it's like. There's just a bunch of bricks in here. And it's really disturbing. Nobody should have a bunch of bricks inside of them. And it's weighing you down. Alright, so I'm going to have you just speak. I'm just going to have you speak. Even if it comes out as... You need to just speak. So we're just going to focus on having bricks in the gut, and then let's just speak. I'm just going to become you, and I'm just going to start speaking. Let's see here. Okay. It's just like, I'm going to get a bit of the bricks, and a bit of the bricks. So I got to get your throat working, because your throat is just, it needs to talk more about this in some way, shape, or form. It needs to talk more. It just needs to say something, even if it's gibberish, but it needs to say something in conjunction, so that it could be acknowledged vocally. Not all this internal stuff, but actually creating a noise that you hear externally of yourself expressing yourself regarding it, this heavy burden. Okay? Okay. Hate. Hate is coming out to play. Okay. Sadness. It's all mixing together in like black and white and gray, and then it's mixing together like a big ink that's mixing together and goes down into it like a spiral, like a tornado. And we're looking down the top of the tornado, and it gets to small at the bottom. Man, a part of you really feels that there's no solution, or there's no resolving it. And because you've decided that there's no resolving this, you don't want to continue carrying the burden here in this lifetime as yourself. That's where this is coming from. I just want to go back home, because part of you has said, I can't resolve this, and then this burden is too heavy for me to carry in this life. I want to transition into a new life where I can start to resolve it over the course of lifetimes. Not to resolve it in this lifetime, because I just can't simply do it. You've already decided you're not able to resolve it in this lifetime. And that is why you're wanting to go back home. You've actually told the universe this. You've even visited, in the most humanistic way, okay? An arch understanding of how an infinite universe goes. You could define it as your soul even has communicated with heaven in some way, shape, or form to talk about leaving this, exiting this life, because the burden is too heavy to carry. But what if the response from heaven is no? It is something you can actually heal this. That you're mistaken. You don't have to carry this burden. You simply need to start healing it. And that's why you can't come home yet, because you haven't learned the lesson that you have the power. Somebody doesn't just come along, open you up, put a bunch of bricks into you and sew you up. This experience would be akin to something super messed up like that happening. And now you have to carry this messed up burden that somebody put into you and just went on their merry flippin' way. That's kind of what this is like. But that's incorrect. You're challenged through this experience to learn that you don't have to carry this. It's simply an opportunity to discover how powerful you are, and that you have the power to heal this. Does that sound like heaven is being too strict, too not compassionate enough? They just simply want you to acknowledge how powerful you are. So it's you not seeing how truly powerful and capable you are, and you giving up on yourself. That's what this is all about. And it isn't time for you to give up on yourself. Otherwise you'd be gone, right? This is just simply one way to look at it. And you're mad at me for this. You actually split yourself into two parts, and you're arguing with yourself over this, a dark side and a light side. And you just basically saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Why am I having to do this? Oh my God, it's never going to go away. And that's just all it is right here. It's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But we're going to separate from that. And now it's time to acknowledge that, time to heal this. Because you do not have to carry these bricks. You don't have to carry up this messed up stuff that was put into you. No, it's not your stuff. Somebody else's stuff. You just thought it was yours. And because it was somebody else's stuff, it never did belong to you. So we could just give it back to them, right? And that way you can kind of move on. Or heal, or it'll help put you back together again, and you can start this next phase of your life, which is to shine your light bright and be happy and merry. And this is the zesty part, because beneath the surface of this, I've already decided I can't do it. I'm ready to exit and go back home. Heaven says, you're misunderstanding. You can do it, and we're not asking you to carry the burden. We're just simply asking you to realize that you have the power to heal this burden, which means then you don't have to carry it. Don't you understand? You know, this is important. Now, beneath the surface of that, even deeper than that, you have this angelic voice that says, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am wonderful, I am full of love. And there's no way I'm leaving this lifetime, because I have a purpose. And that purpose is happiness, is zesty, is full of energy, is divine light, and has absolutely nothing to do with this pain and suffering and the misery. But it's funny because they're all intertwined. This is the reality of being human. We have some deep layers with some angelic voices that are so silent, but yet we know that they're there, and we ignore those more than the pain and suffering voices, which are just the human reality. But that angelic voice is also us. That's also us. So why aren't we using that angelic voice more? We just keep pushing it down and then deciding what we can or can't do. When the angel inside says, you're full of love, you're full of happiness, you're beautiful. Okay, so this, whatever this is with the bricks inside of yourself, they're getting crunched up, and they're starting to, there's actually seems to be more and more, and they're starting to bottle up all the way to the throat. So we got chunked up brick pieces all the way up to the throat. So you're full of it, okay? And a lot of movement here, so we just let it happen. Okay, anger. Just letting it out. All right. Very disorienting. Oh, man. Very disorienting on the mental body. You're echoing to me a gong that is confused and is saying, wait a second. So you're telling me the reason I'm not able to exit this life is because I have more work to do. And the work that I have to do is to heal myself of this. And I'm saying, I don't like the idea of calling it work. I like the idea of calling it opportunity, wonderment, curiosity, adventure. You're still here for the adventure of healing yourself. And it's interesting if you want it to be, if you allow it to be, if you open yourself up to it, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be full of self-discovery, and it's going to be worth your while. It's going to be far cooler than you could possibly imagine. This isn't going to suck. This is going to be awesome. That's what this is all about. Heaven's telling you, but wait a second, you're missing the awesomest part. Because now you get to learn a lot of stuff about yourself from this brick experience. And now we can move on from the bricks and truly be all that you are. And this is the best part. This is the best part. No way you can come back to heaven, not until you got to experience the best part of your life. That's kind of what it's like too. That's just another part of this answer. This is empowering, actually, but also kind of exhausting too. Because you've been carrying a lot of heavy burden and heavy weight, and it's weighed you down. And your soul feels that in some level. Obviously, you got this angelic side this angelic side, she is all like positive, 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 positive. She is so light and airy. There's no such thing as a heavy weight for her. She is just like pure light. But so some part of yourself is carrying a heavy burden. And it's like, okay, I get the message, but still heavy. Still heavy. Okay. Anger again. It's like the black scary eyes. They like start to fill with darkness, and this like little child is getting angry again. It's again venting, okay? And this is us opening that bank of anger. We're just opening it up a little bit at a time to vent more of it, all right? So it's like a healthy vent instead of an explosion. And you have this in like crazy thick walls, unbreakable, so that way it's contained, properly contained, so it doesn't become like a hazard. But at the same time, it's not healthy to have a containment of anger. It's healthy to let the anger out in little vents and then just get rid of the containment, because you're holding on to the anger still. So you got to find a way to vent that anger out, and it's going to give you more access to this awesome angel within yourself. Because that heavy thing is also like muting her love voice. You can hear her love voice loud and clear, but it's also in a silent nature. You have to want to go to that positive voice to experience it. But I feel like you might even be familiar with it. But that's there. And that's kind of beneath the surface of this heavy, safe, full of anger energy. I'm going to keep working on dissolving as much of this as possible. All right, I'm going to accept everything as it is, as I see it. I'm going to go to a higher vibration and see what I can do to lift you up higher. And that might actually kind of loosen up the anger and just like remove it. I don't know. I'm just going to try something here, okay? So let me see. I'm inspired to do two things at the same time. One thing is I'm going to take my energy hands and I'm going to place them into your total, like your whole gut region, okay? Placing them in there, surrounding. My whole hands are surrounding this, what is like an underground bank, crazy safe. And it's got all this anger in it. So my hands are wrapped around it, and it's just sending pink positive electricity into it to transform it. All the while, another version of me is lifting you up vibrationally, okay? Because you're kind of stuck in the mud, and that would be the earthworm with the broken neck experience. So there's a lot of dense walls, remember, and we got cemented in all the bricks. So we got to break that stuff down too. So you got a lot of dense stuff here. But we're gonna work with this. We're gonna do this. Okay, so give me some time here. Okay, the safe opens up and there's a little girl inside in a dark room. There's also the broken bunny in here. Bonnie, I think, is the broken bunny from FNAF. And I'm just still sharing love with the safe. It's open and I'm telling them it's safe to come out now. They are. But all the other energy bodies are terrified to see these reflections, and they're almost like attacking it as though it is like a virus or like a bad thing, that we need to get rid of this bad thing. And I'm saying, no, we don't. We don't need to get rid of this bad thing. In fact, we need to embrace this bad thing. We need to embrace them, both of them. And the only way to really heal them is to embrace them. Okay. Safe is dissolving because the two are now out of the safe. And now these two versions of me, well, I guess I'm duplicating myself, as I'm still pulling all this stuff up high vibrationally, but I'm putting my hands around the head of the girl with all the love energy, and then I'm putting my hands around this bunny rabbit, okay? And it's all love. I'm just sending love into them. And now I'm growing even larger, emerging, and we're just putting them into the palm of my hands, and then I'm just holding them and just sharing all this positive energy. There's a pretty ugly thing that's coming out of all of this. And it was never your anger, it was coming from somebody else. And that's it's basically like a really dark, black, like nightmare. It just comes out in a giant black shadow. And it comes out of your gut, actually. And you're so innocent and so sweet, and you're so loving and adorable. And the bunny comes to hold you and says, I will help you, I will heal you. And dark terror comes out of her and is so angry, but it's like it wisps away kind of thing. But I'm gonna go into the dark terror, and I'm gonna put love into it too, because I don't like to leave anything. I just want to bring balance to it as best as I can. So nobody loves me, the dark terror says. Nobody cares about me. People just want me to go away. Nobody wants me. I say, there's something about this attitude that is really unhealthy. You need to start saying, I am wanted and I am loved. But you also need to start saying that I'm a reflection of love and I treat people the way I want to be treated. And if you can't say that, then people are going to push you away. Black Terror is thinking. You're healing right now in this space. Black Terror is not able to understand how to stop doing that. It's like a circulating mind to heart, mind to heart, mind to heart, mind to heart. Nobody cares about me, nobody loves me, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. Well, you need to start caring about yourself first. And when you start doing that, people will just care about you naturally. And nobody loves me, but nobody loves me anyway. And I don't, it just keeps going around and around in a circle. I say, okay, well, you're gone. You're done. You haven't figured it out yet, and you're not welcome here. So you're done. I'm just sending it away, okay? It's not ready to figure it out. So, but that black terror energy is not within you anymore, okay? There may be other compartments of your totality where aspects of this might be, but this is big. This right here, getting that out, is big because it was contaminating your inner child. All right? And your inner child is now given the opportunity to be your inner child, which is freaking super adorable and blissful, like super ridiculously cute. It's like so cute. I don't know why, but I just keep wanting to pinch your little inner child cheek. Keep saying, gosh, you're so cute. You're just cute. You're so cute. You're adorable. They just keep wanting to say that. All the while, you're still kind of a larger part of you that is sort of holding this inner child part is nervous. Is still concerned, the adult, all right? So we're going back to the inner child is totally at peace, feels like itself again, ready to play. This big bunny is sort of like a stuffed animal now and just wants to play with the stuffed animal. And all of the chaos has just disappeared, and even the child is like disappeared from the child's mind. But the adult, though, is still thinking, still feeling, still trying to understand, is still trying to make sense of, and is still worried in a way. And I tell the adult, you're all these thoughts circulating are attaching you to the past. And if you want to live in the past, you will always be living in the past. And when you can start to, and it takes time, this stuff doesn't just happen overnight, but this energy work alone is going to give you more opportunity to heal from this than ever before, okay? So I'm telling you that whenever the mind kind of reverts back to that, or you start to hear some anger kind of bubbling up inside, and you're like, well, wait, and like 15 minutes goes by and you're kind of going back and forth within yourself about this. You're like, wait a second, why am I even thinking about this right now? I am moving on from the past. Every time you do this, these little bouts are going to get smaller and smaller and less and less, okay? I'm giving you permission to let this go. You have the power to heal this now. You don't want to carry this junk with you into the next lifetime. So heaven is being compassionate because it cares about your soul enough. Your higher self cares about your soul enough, cares about itself enough to know the power of what you're capable of, and that it's much better to heal this now and not to try to move on from it, because you never will. You'll be carrying it through every lifetime. Better to heal this now so you can actually reap the reward now. You don't want to wait on this one. That's why the higher self is like putting the foot down. No, you're not done yet. So you're not leaving yet. So that's okay too, because this road ahead is going to be an interesting one. Wow, you got a lot of, you're reconciling a lot inside yourself right now. And your whole landscape, energetic landscape, is reconciling a lot right now. There's a lot of exhaustion related to all the energy work that's processing here. Because even 60 minutes of energy work is weeks of processing, okay? So all these frequencies are getting into harmonic balance into our physical reality, our dimensional reality. So where I'm doing this in this, I'm projecting my consciousness to do this work. This projected consciousness that I was doing this work is bringing in a new blueprint, basically, into your reality, into your version of a dimensional human reality as yourself. And that is going to take place over the course of weeks now, okay? It's just like you bring a gong and you hear that vibration. And that vibration keeps going and going and going and going and going forever. It'll never stop going. So the love too is like a vibration that keeps going and going and going in your infinite universe. It's love. Love just keeps going and going and going and going. And you'll feel that love the most over the next couple of weeks, okay? But if the first 3 to 5 days you're super sleepy, you got a lot of processing going on here. You still have, like, these dense layers are really tight, but we're kind of, it's like a really tight rubber band, or you haven't stretched in a long time and your muscles are ridiculously tight. You got to slowly ease that rubber band. You got into flexibility, okay? And so you got some tight layers here that really compact. So we're creating a little bit, we're loosening this stuff up. We're creating flexibility of the rubber band that is you, okay? And then it's feeling a lot more flexible in here than it was before. So I feel like the best message I could share with you at this point is to get excited, okay? Because the burden of this stuff that you're kind of still holding on to, this is going to bring awareness to you that you don't have to be burdened by it. because heaven and my higher self, your higher self, all of us are giving you permission to get excited about this experience because it's time now to heal it. And you can heal it however you want to heal it. And it's a self-discovery journey, and it's going to be an adventure. And that is what I could tell you about what's up next. But your purpose beneath the surface of all this is this angel here. And I would love to bring more of her out at the surface of yourself. And we got to keep going through these dense layers, but this angel has something to say. Right now, she's a silent voice, but she is a powerful love, emanation of love, super powerful. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to take this angel and I'm just going to disperse her into all of your energy bodies so I can make an imprint of her meaning, her frequency into all of your energy bodies. So I'm basically downloading this angel essence into your energy field. It's going to be part of your blueprint, your soul rebirth blueprint. It's your upgrade. I'm just placing her in her mental body here. And in the throat, the heart. Placing her in the emotional gut. Place her in the lower gut. Placing her below the feet, above the head. I'm letting that love just trickle through your spiritual atmosphere, and I'm letting you merge with this angel. So she is at the surface of your identity. We're not going to hide her or push her away anymore. We need to step into her because that's your true identity. That is your purpose. There's something about how she expresses herself, and I feel there's a light language inspiration going on here. Because even I myself, when it's just like, even if it's just gibberish about the bricks in the gut, it's just, you gotta say something. And sometimes we start language by just doing something. Like, we just hum some tones, we just start singing random songs, we just, we do whatever we do, but it's gotta come from something that has no conscious understanding of what it is. It just comes from somewhere else other than our head. And that's where the light language comes from. And then it starts to heal us, and it heals our throat, and we start to become more self-expressive. And this angel has love to express. And love is light language. And she wants to express something powerful of this kind. And this would also be very healing for you on this journey as well. Wow, I'm going to disconnect because your energy field is, with this angel emanation, is starting to go into a sleep state again. So you might actually in the physical be sleepier for 3 to 5 days, and that's acclimating to all this energy work, okay? So just let it continue to process over the next couple weeks. But I want to thank you so much. This was so, every journey I do is so special, and it's really an honor to get to know your soul and to help you with this. So thank you for that. And I really appreciate you sharing this on YouTube as well, because there are other people with childhood trauma out there that have similar experiences going on that they need to face. And you're giving them the courage to face it as well, through what your messages are and through the gift of you sharing this message on YouTube. So I want to thank you very much for that. And for those of you watching, if you want to connect with me for a psychic session, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.